Hey guys, and welcome back to Chatting Breeze. Today I need to make a disclaimer. Apologies for the really bad hair. It looks like I haven't washed it. I appreciate this. However, as someone who is multitasking most of my days, I really do have a hair mask in, and I'm just putting it out there. Sorry guys, as you can hear, I didn't turn my phone off either, real life. But yeah, I'm multitasking, hair mask is in whilst I'm gonna be doing this vlog. And that's just the way it has to roll sometimes. Mucky life, trying to make yourself feel and look better whilst you're doing other things. It's just part of the course, and I'm here to be as real as I am in real life. So that's what you're gonna get. But today, hopefully I'm gonna give you better information than about my hair mask, and it is about social media and how to look at what avenues to take when you're launching your brand. I will crack on. The outlets that I initially was looking at in regards to social media platforms was Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. So they were my three platforms that I was trying to focus my attention on. As time was going on, I was starting to see obviously my engagement levels on what platforms, where I should really be focusing more of my energy on, and of course always looking at my stats and my data behind things. So how much engagement I was getting for what kind of posts, and if I could improve on that, if I can replicate those posts in different ways to carry on the consistency of engagements. That being said, I soon came to realize, when I say soon, I would say probably within 6 months, that Instagram was a really hard slog. Take a breath for a second. I don't mean that YouTube and Pinterest are easy platforms to get followers on. They are, like every platform, unless it's brand new, they're very saturated markets. However, Instagram for me just was a minefield, and I was really struggling to gather followers on Instagram. I personally put this down to the fact that Instagram loves new content. It loves fresh content. When I say this, I mean not just reposting, say, images of people and fashion, if that's what you're going into. Actually, I'll use a better scenario. So if I personally am obviously looking to start my own t-shirt line, I will be focusing in and homing in on fashion because I want the followers who are engaging with me to be interested in the product that I will eventually be selling. So there is no point me posting about anything else, just doesn't make sense. So So what I was seeing and was looking at the bigger Instagram followers, what they were posting and how they were getting engagement levels and getting the followers. And as I've said, I soon came to realize that where my issue was is that I was not being able to create enough content fast enough with a fast enough turnaround. So in regards to competition, and I say that loosely, I mean as in obviously people who would be in the same kind of lane as me, industry as me, wanting to do the same thing as me, they were able to, number one, either they had their products already, so they were consistently posting their actual products. So if I had a line of t-shirts already made, already available, and I was being able to post those t-shirts every single day with different styles, different looks, different combinations that you could wear the t-shirts with, that would have been one thing. But I wasn't at that place. I am trying to build up my social media following before launching my brand, because obviously the more people you have engaged with you before you launch your brand, or your product should I say, hopefully those people will be interested in your product when the time comes to launch. and it enables you to not stay stagnant. If you're waiting for your actual product before you can even start posting anything, you then have to start from scratch when you have the product sitting there. So your product now could be sitting there for months and months and months and months, and you can't shift it. So that time in between when you are looking for your product to be made or to be sent to you, whatever your situation is, you could always use that time wisely. And when I say wisely, I mean by starting up and creating your social media platforms and your followers that come with that. So as I was saying, so I either had, number one, people obviously who were able to post what it is that they were selling. That wasn't my situation. Or number two, people who were obviously getting their followers interested in their style and what they were wearing and things like that. They were able, or were seeming able, to be posting every single day. So they had new outfits, new styles, all this kind of stuff constantly every day. And sometimes people were posting more than once a day, and they were posting on the stories as well with different content and things like that. For myself, this was too much. Please remember the fact that I also have a full-time job that I obviously need to make sure that I'm doing to the best of my ability as well. This is not a case of me just having all my time, all my effort spent into being able to just concentrate on my Chatting Breeze brand. And this might sound very familiar to you if you're at home and you're thinking, that's me, I still have a full-time job, I still need to make an income, but I want to start something new, but I don't have all the time in the world to be able to even be purchasing things, potentially sending them back after you've taken a photo of it, or if you have all the items, being able to constantly post and, you know, make shoots every single day, or even do a backlog of them enough when you're thinking of 7 days a week, and you, as I said, and you potentially could be thinking of twice a day. That's a lot of time and content that you need to produce to be able to keep putting out to people. And Instagram is obviously, like most platforms, loves new content, loves, you know, you being able to kind of give them something new all the time, whether that be every day or whether that be multiple times a day. So I'm competing in an already saturated market. Instagram is obviously, of course, full of amazing influencers, girls who have fantastic wardrobes and fantastic looks and styles and things like that. But that just isn't me, as in I can't possibly keep up with that. So I realized fairly quickly, after spending a lot of time, you know, I say about 6 months, that Instagram just wasn't getting the following that I was really needing at a rate in which I was kind of hoping for. Please do also be aware that with any social media platform, time is needed. You are very, very, very lucky if maybe you have posted a few things up and people have caught on to it or captured it. Maybe somebody else has reposted you who has a big influence, or maybe you can pay for that, or whatever the situation is. That's something very different. But if you are looking for organic growth, so that's people just organically coming to you, that isn't you paying someone to kind of give you a bit of a shout out or doing anything like that, it does take a while and it takes consistency. It is not going to happen overnight. I then went to Pinterest, and Pinterest, I really kind of started to realize that I was getting a lot more interest. So people were becoming more interested in my Pinterest accounts. And I found that for myself also a lot easier to manage because I wasn't constantly needing to create new content. And when I say new content, I mean in regards to me having to take photos of myself consistently every day and posting those. I could repost fashion inspiration and talk about that. I could do that on the pin ideas at the top when you have the stories at the top. I could take things and obviously save them on my story, on my pin boards, and make those pin boards as amazing as possible. So making sure that I was putting different images on different pin boards. So for instance, with Pinterest, Pinterest loves it if you are able to divide your pins up. So if I'm going to be searching for particular inspiration, so I want autumn fashion, it's so much easier if you have an autumn fashion pin board. If then I have a spring pin board with all spring fashion, I then create its own pin. I don't bunch everything together. I will have separate boards for separate things that I am trying to show my audience. And I just found that this, for me, with the time that I have as well, was not only, number one, fun, and I understood it. I was able to engage with what I was looking at as well. But number two, it was doable. And let's kind of get a little bit of reality to things. There is no point trying to set yourself targets or markers to things when it is just not going to fit your life. You might be able to do it for a certain amount of time, but then you might really struggle to keep the consistency. And as I said, consistency is so important. Getting content out there is just so vital. So that being said, I really started to focus more effort and more time on Pinterest, and I now have been able to get my kind of more eyes looking at my pins. So currently I have, and another thing that I must please say to you is get the business account. I can't tell you how important this is. If you are on Pinterest, and you have to, I understand sometimes it may not be the thing that you love doing, but you have to check your stats. I won't lie, I'm not a stats gal. I don't like stats, sorry. Don't like anything when it comes to that, but you have to force yourself. So the business account enables you to look at how many views you've had, what people are interested in, what your best pins are doing, all this kind of stuff. And this is vital information. I don't know if I said that enough, did I? Vital information that you need to make sure that you are carrying on and growing your numbers. I have around 81,000 monthly views. So when they say that, what they mean is that that's how many times your images is coming up on people's feeds. That does not mean that that's how many times people are clicking on to your images. There is a massive difference. So what you have is you have your monthly views, you then have your clicks. So actually, so people will see it on their feeds, then they click into your image, and then you'll have, if they wish to follow you. So there's kind of 3 different stats which come up on your pictures, on your boards and stuff like that, or as a general. And you need to look into that. So I'm at the moment obviously quite high. I'm growing in regards to the amount of people or amount of boards that I am being able to be seen on. But I also need to now improve on my conversion rates into getting more people wanting to actually follow me, and also being able to get onto collaboration boards. I will give you a little insight into this one. Collaboration boards are basically where people can, you can add your images onto other boards. Now this isn't just a given, like, oh great, I'll just put you have to kind of be accepted to the person who's created that board itself. But that also gets more eyes looking at your product or at your images and things like that. Of course, you can use this specifically for your products. At the moment, I obviously am using it in regards to growing my brand, growing my name, and being able to have people who are interested in the same things as me, as in what I'm going to be selling in the end. It's exactly the same theory as Instagram. You're not going to be posting things which aren't relevant to what you're actually going to be selling end game. That, you know, your product is what you want people to be purchasing. So once you have enough eyes on you, you can then put your product up and then say, you know, you can obviously buy this from so and so. But the aim of the game is to get enough eyes on you in the first place for you to then be able to push your product. So this was Instagram, and if people want to know more information, I can absolutely do another vlog on that with further information on it. I just don't want to overwhelm everyone at this moment in time. And then of course we have YouTube, which is my third platform, which is growing slowly, but it is growing. So thank you everyone so much who is tuning in to my vlogs. I really appreciate it from the heart. It really helps me, and it also kind of gives you more confidence as well. Of course, when you are creating this content, it isn't a 5-minute job. It does take time, it takes effort, and so when people are reaching out and like what you're showing, or it's helping people, that's fantastic to me. That's the whole point of this. So as you are probably all aware, YouTube has gone into doing shorts now. I don't know why I said doing, that's weird. Anyway, doing shorts, which I am also trying to become more active on, and creating more shorts and videos for content as well. That would always help you. Everything that a platform introduces in regards to new forms of them being able to get content out there to viewers is worth you jumping on. They are doing it for a reason, and if you can be one of the first people to get onto that platform, or you know, the extras that they want to provide, that will hopefully be able to put you further on in the market. You're going to have more eyes on you quicker. But of course, in the world of social media and the world of technology, you have to be hot on snapping through this. So I would always say there's so many great vlogs out there, that people who are on the trends, on top of the trends, understanding the trends in real time and really fast. So make sure that you are tuning into that, and you are very aware of what the platform is doing and how it's changing, and if there's anything new that's going to be coming up, and utilize those, because every platform will love it if you are utilizing something that they have just introduced, and it really will help with growing your numbers and your brand, or your, you know, selling your product. Guys, I hope that has helped. Do excuse the mess that we have going on here. I know it's a little bit crazy, but like I said, you have to multitask. I think most of us are doing this, and we're juggling, aren't we? This is me juggling balls. I don't know. This should be juggling balls, right? I don't know. I don't juggle. Anyway, that wasn't my point. But hopefully this has assisted you to really kind of start concentrating and looking at your platforms, concentrating on which ones are doing well, maybe putting more time and energy into that. I'm not saying forget the other platforms, absolutely not. But if you are seeing growth happening on particular platforms, then make sure that you keep that growth going. Don't forget about it just because you think, oh, this is growing, fine, I can now, you know, put my attention somewhere else. Really home in, really see what is going on internally, what people are reacting to, and what is going to keep that growth going. And if there's platforms where you're just really stagnant, really struggling, no matter what you've tried, it's not happening, I personally would suggest you might try another platform, maybe give that one a rest, try another one, or just keep plowing in to the ones that you are really succeeding on, because it doesn't matter to a degree what platform you're going to be on if it's going to sell your product, and if you're getting the eyes on you who want to then buy your product. But of course, always choose your platforms wisely as to what you think the best platform is for your product and for your brand. All right, guys, until next week, I will see you later. Bye.